Hi, Mr. C back with you. We are in section 1.1. This is example 1. We are naming lines and planes. Again, this is a review from the other day. So quick review. Name a line containing point W. Here we have point W. So a line containing point W, the easiest way is the line in the lowercase letter, line N. There are multiple other ways. VW, VX, VY, YX, YW does not have to contain the point W, but does the point W has to be on the line. The tricky part about this is, can you make a line TW that's not drawn there? I would accept that. But currently, if you look at the book answers, it does not have the ones that are not drawn. Sometimes they'll refer to ones that are not drawn. I will always let you know or give you the benefit of the doubt. B, name a plane containing point X. Plane containing point X. Again, we have the one drawn here. The easiest way to name it is plane P with the capital letter in cursive or script. Now, remember, we can name it with any 3 points on that plane. V, Z, W, W, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, W, and so on. We use 3 capital letters to signify points. Again, the tricky part that the book does not get to here is, even though WXT would make a plane containing X, the book does not give that answer because it is not drawn in this example. Something that would not work is, you cannot name a plane with 3 collinear points. They can't be in a straight line. Also, it would have to contain X. Remember that this is a line coming down through the plane, and that this on the back part here means that you cannot see it. Okay, so the book lists all the answers. Again, this is following directly along with your book. The online book version is slightly different because it's a newer version. So I recommend you use your hard copy or your book. Guided practice, a plane containing points T and Z. So we have T and Z. It says a plane. So technically we can use any one. It is not one drawn, but we can say any 3 non-collinear points. TZX, TZW, TZV, TZY. The book gives one example. Name a line containing point T. Again, you can name it. The easiest way would be line, and that's an R. Don't confuse that with a Y. It's a script R or a cursive R is how we'll be writing it. You could also say line TX, line XT is the most common. Well, technically, again, here I would accept more answers of the lines drawn that contain point T. So TW is a line, even though it's not drawn. I would accept that answer. I'm going to continue on to example 2 here because it's pretty quick. Example 2, in my notes, I put EX2, put a box around it, and it says name the geometric terms modeled by the objects in the picture. Not a great example, in my opinion. If you notice what's modeled here, though, it has the lines here, it has a line here, it has a line here. It also has capital letters signifying points. It also has the dots right there to signify the points. So let's start with our points, lines, and planes, our 3 undefined terms. Can we name any points here? Well, there's 4 different answers. Point G, point H, point J, or point F. Any of those are correct answers. But the one they wanted, again, not a good example, is they call it a push pin. We call it a thumbtack normally, but there's supposedly a thumbtack. You can barely even see it. You can see it a little bit better over here. But the thumbtack would represent a point. Second thing is a line. The edge of this paper would represent a line. So line GH or line HG would represent this side. Line HJ or line JH would represent this side. And line FJ would represent this side. Lastly, remember we have points, lines, and planes. So we can use any 3 non-collinear points. Since none of these are collinear, you can say plane G, H, F, F, J, H, any version of these. We only use 3, we don't use 4. Some books, I've seen it before where they use 4, we don't use 4, we only use 3. Moving on to the guided practice here. In the guided practice, it says 2A. I put GP 2A. Stripes on a sweater. Well, the answer is line. 2B. What's the corner of a box? It's a point. All 3 sides line up at 1 point. So corner of a box, the answer is 2B is point. I'm going to continue on here for one more second to finish out this page. Okay, the intersection of 2 or more geometric figures is the set of points they have in common. Well, when we think about it, it's where they cross. 2 lines intersect in a point. That is if they intersect. They could not intersect. We'll go over that later. I'm sure you guys have heard of parallel lines. We're going to go a couple different versions of things where they may not intersect, but if 2 lines intersect, they intersect at 1 point. They use the shortcut here, lowercase script, line L, that is not an E, line L, and M. If you notice, these letters are usually pretty close together in the alphabet. So script again, so we could use one letter lowercase, line L and line M intersect at line P. 2 planes here, blue plane being B, green plane being A, capital cursive letter in the corner. Where do 2 planes intersect? As you can see, they intersect along this whole way. And remember, these planes keep going on out forever, up forever, down forever. So 2 planes intersect at a line.